Welcome to Nugg Talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nugg Talk, a weekly podcast where we talk about everything going on in the NBA, and more specifically and importantly, everything going on with your Denver Nuggets. I'm your host, Loki, here again with my co-host, Phil. Phil, what's up?
What's up? I would say that the Nuggets are way more important.
Yeah, I said more importantly.
I just want to put way in front of it.
Fine, you can put way in front of it, whatever
they're
you
way
want.
more important.
Hey, man, there's other people from other teams who listen to our podcast sometimes, which always shocks me. And thank you for listening, but I'm still shocked.
Thank you for listening, those Utah Jazz fans.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw away I'm not gonna say anything.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll get into all the games.
We're gonna have to. So it's okay.
We got a lot of games that we need to talk about, and a lot of things we need to talk about. First off, since you brought up the Jazz, we can talk about Donovan Mitchell is no longer unworthy of his spot because Dame's out, and they put Devin Booker in anyways for him. So now I think Donovan Mitchell deserves to be anyways because he should have been.
You think he should have replaced Donovan?
Yeah, he should have originally been
over Donovan.
Yes, he should have originally been over Donovan, and then Donovan should have got in for Damian Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
But now everyone got in, so it's all okay. Damian hurt his ankle for the better good of the NBA All-Star game, I guess.
Sorry to Bradley Beal.
Hey, maybe someone on the East gets hurt. There's still games going on.
That's true.
I really hope not. I'm joking, and I swear to God, it's all jokes. But yeah, so that's that for that going on. I don't know if we talked about this on the last podcast, but Jokic got picked to Team LeBron. That happened. So for once in our lives, we can root for LeBron James and the Lakers. Not really the Lakers, but the West. So that'll be fun. That Team LeBron's way better than Team Giannis.
So much better. It's kind of insane. It got a little worse with replacing Dame with Devin Booker, but it's still so much better.
I just think Giannis is an idiot when it comes to drafting.
I think Giannis is either an idiot about his drafting, or he's just like he'd be fun to play with, sort of thing.
I mean, that is kind of what he did. At least he joked around, and they were like, "Oh, you don't want James Harden," and that's what Chuck says. Like, you don't want the ball handler. He's like, "No, I want someone who passes," and that was really funny. It was really funny.
It was funny.
But I also think that's way more deep-seated than that actually seemed. Like, I feel like he actually didn't pick James Harden because, like, they went
James
at
Harden's a ball hog.
Well, no, but also because they went at it, like, for MVP last year, and James Harden has been very vocal about how he thinks Giannis did not deserve it.
That's fair.
I think that's really the reason, but he wanted to make it funny. But even then, his team's ass. Team LeBron and Team Jokic, as we should call it.
Yeah, Team Jokic.
It's going to ball out.
Jokic is going to get like 2 points and like 18 assists.
But he's going to have fun.
He's going to have a good time.
He's going to get an alley-oop dunk from Luka. Imagine.
I think Jokic should pass to every guy he wants on the Nuggets, and one of those guys should be Luka.
I mean, maybe. Who knows?
So
but they'll hang out, so, hopefully out of the two, he's the recruiter instead of Luka being the recruiter.
Yeah, true.
That'd be nice. Because that shit happens all the time at the All-Star game. People recruit all the time. If you don't remember last year, Kyrie and Katie basically talked to each other about teaming up there. And people saw and caught it on video. And they were like, oh, no, we were just talking about basketball. It's like, shut up. We all know.
And then it happened.
Yeah.
And that also happened with Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. Maybe it's just Kevin Durant. Maybe Kevin Durant's the only one getting recruited.
No, I mean, that happens all the time.
I know. I'm just kidding. Anthony Davis, probably.
Yeah, LeBron with anybody he's ever played with. So, I mean, it just happens a lot. But I'm excited to see Jokic in it. But on other news, we have to talk about all the trades that happened. I'll start off by saying I was wrong twice. One, I said it was just going to be a quiet trade deadline. And then two, I said we weren't going to do anything. I was wrong both times.
Yep.
A lot. We'll get to our trades last, but we'll talk about other trades. The first one we'll talk about is the most confusing one and the most ridiculous one. Andre Drummond went to the Cleveland Cavaliers for a box of tissues and coins.
I was going to say a bag of old Cheetos, but yeah.
Same concept. He went. It was like they traded Brandon Knight and John Henson in a second-round pick for Andre Drummond. What do you think, bud?
I am so confused because like it doesn't. It makes sense for the Cavs just because like, hey, they want to compete, maybe get more money. I feel like that's the thing that Dan Gilbert would do. But with the Pistons, if you're trying to rebuild, why do you not stockpile assets to help you rebuild? You could have gotten way more for Drummond. I don't get it. I really don't. They must think they're going to get a free agent or some shit next year.
I don't even know if that's the case. I really think they are trying to tank, but I think
they want to take the long haul.
I don't even fucking know, to be 100% honest with you. But like, I mean, I definitely think they could have got better stuff for Andre Drummond, but at the same time, it's like he does have a pretty shady contract. And True. He's a center who, for the most part, I mean, he's gotten better as a shooter, but for the most part, still can't shoot. So there are things that go against his trade value. But at the same time, like, he's not fucking garbage. He's the best rebounder in the league. I'm pretty sure at this moment he leads the leagues in rebounds. He's, double-double machine.
I mean, he's Andre Drummond. I don't think he is any worse than he was the last couple of years.
No, I don't know. Who knows what happens really with this? I don't even know what this is, to be honest. Maybe the GM's just really stupid.
Yeah. I think it's probably that.
The GM stupid?
Yeah.
I think it has to be that because, like, I do think they are trying to tank. I think that is the point. I think if they could have, if Blake Griffin wasn't hurt, they would have traded him this season too. Yeah. But
they're just going about it the complete wrong way.
Yeah, they're just going about it the wrong way. I think Blake Griffin is going to get traded this summer for sure because I think they are officially saying, okay, it didn't work out. We're going to rebuild again and try it out again. So who knows? We'll see. I just think that's insane. That was by far the worst one. But grades. We'll give out grades. What do you give the Cavs?
B+.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it didn't really make a lot of sense, but like for what they
for a team that is also bad and kind of tanking, you wonder why they wanted to get like negligibly better. Well, they got a lot better, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I know. They're not going to do anything.
Not enough to make any noise or anything.
Yeah, but at least they got better, and they gave away nothing to do so. And the grade for the Pistons.
A+, because it really entertains me. No, it's an F.
It's an F, but A+ for entertainment. It was really funny. It made no sense. I think when everyone saw that come through, they were like, wait, what?
Pretty much, yeah.
Next one's just like a bogus one that we're not really going to go in depth with. It was Dwayne Dedmon went to the Hawks. Jabari Parker went to the Kings.
Oh, Jabari.
Alex Len also went into the Kings, and then they sent second-round picks. Not important.
Let's just go to the big ones.
The big one here, this one kind of sucks for us because it was a big move for Los Clippers. They traded for Marcus Morris and Isaiah Thomas, who they cut, so they really just traded for Marcus Morris.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas just was included to make the money work. But they traded him. They traded for him and Isaiah, and they traded away Mo Harkless to the Knicks. They also gave away draft rights, so they have for Isuf Sanin. I don't know who that is. It's a guard they drafted. They also gave away a 2020 first-round pick, a 2021 first-round pick swap, and a 2021 second-round pick. And then the Wizards got Jerome Robinson because it was a 3-team.
Oh, okay.
So the main thing is Marcus Morris won the Clippers.
Okay.
What do you think?
I was gonna say if we're gonna do grades, I would say right now for the Clippers, I would give it a B. But if they don't win a championship, it's like a D.
Because a lot of these
they're giving up more first round picks.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of
more first round picks. If they don't win a championship, the Clippers are gonna be bad until we're like 50.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be back for a really long time.
And we're in our mid-20s.
This is the most the team has invested in their future since the Nets when they traded for KG and Paul Pierce, and we all saw how much they were fucked for a really long time. Until now. Now they're good. But, I'm going to give it an A-. One, because I think Marcus Morris is way better than Mo Harkless.
True.
They gave up a lot of first-round picks, but they're in a win-now type of situation. And I think if you're
that's fair. I wouldn't give the Paul George trade a low grade.
Yeah, and if you're a Clipper fan, you know what it's like to be shitty. And you know what it's like to be really good and not capitalize on it too. That's what happened with Lob City. It was a really good team that never
did
made
anything.
it. So I think you do whatever it takes now to win that championship. So I think they're very much in a win now thing. I don't think they really care about their future. They want to do as best as they can while they have Kawhi and Paul George, so they're doing it. And also, they were in a huge competition for Marcus Morris's services with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers did not trade for him because they asked for Danny Green with Kyle Kuzma. They didn't want to give up Danny Green, which I think is ridiculous, especially just because Danny Green's not having a great year.
And they have Avery Bradley.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. But they decided not to, so then the Clippers swooped in and they did it. But yeah, I mean, for them, I'd definitely give an A-. For the Knicks, they got a lot of picks, so I'll give them a C+. That's all I'm going to give the Knicks because I can't trust the Knicks.
They're the Knicks. I mean, that's the thing. You have to give them a C, like around the C, because they're probably not going to do anything with those picks they got.
Obviously, yeah. If it changes into something good, like if those picks actually turn out to be good players, then sure, you come back to it and you're like, okay, they did really good in this trade, but they're most likely not going to. So.
True.
And then the Wizards were just in it to be in it, so to make the money work. So I don't really need to give them a grade. I don't know if you would want to give them a grade for Jerome Robinson.
Nah, I don't. I only know who that is because of basketball. I don't know who he is. I just heard of his name.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next thing we'll talk about. There's gonna be two parts to this. It's the Rockets. They traded they traded away Capella. And they got Robert Covington, which I don't know if we talked about in the last podcast. I don't think we did.
I don't think it had happened yet.
Yeah, it definitely didn't happen because we were included in that one. But because we'll get to that trade later because we're included in it, but because they happened and they got rid of Capella and they didn't really have a center, they did another trade after, which was to get Bruno Caboclo. They traded Jordan Bell to get Gordon Caboclo, which is weird because they traded to get Jordan Bell. So I'm assuming they think Bruno's better than Jordan. But either way,
it's really strange to me because looking at their last games, Bruno has not played at all.
Yeah, so that trade is just kind of like but it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, since the trade deadline, they have.
I think they're 2-2.
They're 2-2. Yeah, it was trade deadline the 5th.
I think so.
Yeah.
6.
Okay, then they were 2-2,
yeah,
but they beat 2 good teams and lost to one bad team.
Yeah, and they were close in one of the other games they lost. So, but we'll talk about them in a later one. Just want to mention that one because it's involved in that. But then the next big trade, Iguodala finally is playing basketball. He got traded to the Miami Heat to go play with Jimmy Butler. Included in that trade was a lot of fucking people because they were just like, you know what? We all hate certain players on our team, so let's just trade them to each other.
Yeah.
Andre Iguodala went to the Heat with Jay Crowder and Solomon Hill. The Grizzlies got Dion Waiters and Justice Winslow and Gorgie Dang. And the Timberwolves got James Johnson. Who's your winner from this one?
I guess the Heat. I think also the Grizzlies a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm going to say Grizzlies.
They got rid of him.
Yeah, I was going to say Grizzlies won this.
I think, well, yeah. I completely disagree with Iguodala in this situation. So I'm so biased.
I mean, he's burned us in the past before, and he kind of burned them and stuff. But then he goes out and he says nice stuff about John Moran and Dylan Brooks, even though they called him out on Twitter and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just he's just such a nice guy. It's kind of weird.
I'm sure he's a great human being, but as a basketball player, he's a snake.
Yeah, not true. But as a person, he's so nice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say Memphis won because I think Justice Winslow for a guy who's not even playing on your team.
Yeah, that's
very
a good trade. Yeah.
And they also got Gorgie Dang, who's 30 years old, but I mean, he's not actually, but he seems like he is.
Is he? Damn.
No, He might be. No one actually, I think, knows his age.
I thought that was Ibaka. He is 30.
Is he actually 30?
He just turned 30 in January.
Okay, see, I was joking, but now he's actually 30. So
what? Wasn't he drafted Wow, he was drafted.
I think he lied about his age.
Oh.
I think so. I'm not entirely
he was
positive.
Drafted,
Do not quote me on this.
But he was drafted 7 years ago, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was much more recent.
Oh damn, that is crazy. Well, there you go. So they got him.
Damn.
They cut Dion Waiters though because Dion Waiters is a cancer and is terrible of a player. I mean, not terrible player. He's a good player, but if he doesn't have a good attitude, he's a terrible person to be in the locker room.
Definitely.
But I think they did good, so I'll give them an A. I'll give the Heat a minus, And the Timberwolves, I will give you a freaking D on this one because James Johnson got in trouble earlier in the year for getting Heat players high, allegedly. Probably not a good person to team up with Kat and D'Angelo and our boy Malik, who we'll get to. But
true, yeah.
What do you give? Did you give grades to the Heat and the Timberwolves?
I'll give the Heat a B. I'll give the Grizzlies a B, and I'll give the Timberwolves a D.
Yeah, I think this is.
I don't think this trade changes much. I don't think Iguodala. I think Iguodala is like right about to end his career. So I don't know if he's going to be that amazing for the Heat, but we'll see. He's probably a good defender. So
it's not like a huge one, but it is definitely a trade for sure.
And then the Grizzlies got even younger and probably better. So.
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies got better for longer, so that helps out. Next kind of biggest trade is the Warriors and 76ers traded. They gave Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson 2 shooters because literally every year the Sixers need 3-point shooters and they get them at the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. Then they start playing better into the playoffs and then they'll lose in like the second round or something. It's literally like every year. But they traded that and they traded away a lot of second round picks. So for the Sixers, I'll give a B. For the Warriors, I'm going to give an A, and I'll get into it later, but they get an A for right now. But
who did the Warriors get again? Sorry.
They just got 3 second-round picks.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of assets.
Yeah.
Which I'll get into later.
Yeah, I'll give them both. I'll give them both A's actually. I think the Warriors just need to stockpile picks, and they're probably going to flip them for something.
Yeah, and that's why I give them an A. So we'll talk about it because the next thing is the big one. Other than our trades. This is probably the biggest trade that's not including us. So the Timberwolves traded for D'Angelo Russell because, like I said, they called probably like 10 times a week saying, hey, we know Cat's going to leave if he doesn't get one of his best friends here. Can you please come over? So they called the Warriors all the time. They traded for him. They got rid of Andrew Wiggins, a 2021 protected first-round pick, and a 2021 second-round pick. The Timberwolves also got Jacob Evans and Omari Spellman, but it was mainly for D'Angelo Russell. So what would you say about this trade? And then you can get into grades too if you want to do that.
Okay. I think this trade does make sense for both teams. D'Angelo Russell wasn't really a fit now, and he definitely wouldn't be a fit when they get healthy. And then for D'Angelo, I think he's in a better situation. He's on a better team. Barely, but yes. And yeah, he gets to play with his best friend. And it makes sense for the Wolves to do this because they can't afford to lose Cat. That being said, I'm giving the Timberwolves a C because I think that the amount of defense that's going to be played on this team is practically negative. And I just don't think it's going to really move the needle that much. They're going to get away from the cellar, but they're not going to make the playoffs. For the Warriors, I think I'm going to give it a I'm going to give them a B because I think because Andrew Wiggins is still super young and they could definitely, if someone's going to figure out how to teach him to shoot, it's going to be them. So.
Yeah. No, I agree with most of your sentiment for the most part. I'll give the Timberwolves a B- just because it is good talent. They got it, and they really got it for a piece that they know that they weren't going to use. Like Andrew Wiggins wasn't working in there. It never really was. Mm-hmm. It was pretty much well known, like no one knows for sure, but around the league, people assume that Karl Anthony Towns did not like Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, that was definitely.
A lot of people knew that Jimmy Butler didn't like Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, definitely that one.
Mainly because there's a lot of things about is he actually, training? Is he actually pushing himself hard enough?
It seems like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, it just seems like he's really talented, but he's not practicing or doing enough to really push himself to go to that next level. So they kind of saw the writing on the wall that Cat's super frustrated because specifically him, hasn't won a game since November till this shit happened.
Yeah. Because
he was out for so long. So he's just been losing constantly, and since they made the playoffs, it's been downhill for him.
So he's probably getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, so they saw it on the wall. They knew he was probably going to ask for a trade this summer, so they got ahead of the ball, and they were like, here's your best friend. Go to the airport. Give him his jersey. Speak with him. Like they're just like, here, just go.
Get people to buy tickets.
Yeah, go hang out with each other.
Yeah.
Then on the Warriors side of things, I give them an A, actually an A+. One reason because of the things you said. If anyone can fix Andrew Wiggins, they can fix fucking Andrew Wiggins. Also, Andrew Wiggins is a better fit for them. But that the A is kind of with like an asterisk. It's like possibly that they get an A, but also they got so many assets in the fact that they have a pick this year. They have Andrew Wiggins. They have another 2021 protected first round pick. They have a ton of second round picks. They have a ton of assets. They now have a guy whose contract is available to use in a sign-in trade. They have basically set themselves up to go for Giannis.
Yeah, that's true.
Which sucks because they have enough assets to intrigue if it comes down to maybe trading for Giannis before he hits free agency. They can do that. But then they could also do sign-in trades. So they set themselves up really well. Granted, it depends on if they do it. Who knows? Giannis is winning right now with the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. I mean, I think a lot of people wouldn't pick them to win the finals, but they definitely could win the finals. If they don't win the East, he's leaving for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not this year yet, but it's coming up.
It's after next season, I think.
Yeah, it's coming up. So they're just getting ready for it because it's well known around the league that they want to do another super team. They want to pair people up with Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond again, and they're trying to get Giannis as their main goal. If they do it, this is an A. If they don't, I'll give it a B minus.
Yeah. If they get Giannis, that's they.
Because I do think Andrew Wiggins is going to play a lot better here. Not this season, but definitely next season.
Yeah, I agree. Once he has all those shooters around him, it's going to take a lot of pressure off of him.
Yeah, I think he'll be a lot better. And then now we'll talk about our trades that we got involved in. The first one was the biggest trade since I think like 2002 when Patrick Ewing got sent to Seattle. Patrick Ewing played for Seattle, folks. That happened. So Clint Capella got traded, like we talked about earlier. He went to the Hawks. They also traded Nene to the Hawks. We got involved in this trade, and the Timberwolves got involved in this trade. It was a 4-team trade. So, like I said, the Hawks got Clint Capella and Nene. We got Shabazz Napier, Keita Bates-Diop, Gerald Green, who we waived, and Noah Vonleh. And we also got a first-round pick from the Rockets in 2020. The Rockets got, like I said, Jordan Bell in this, but they traded him already for Bruno Caboclo. Robert Covington and a 2024 second-round pick from the Hawks. And then the Timberwolves got Malik Beasley from us.
No.
By Malik Beasley. They also got Evan Turner. They got Wancho from us. They also got Jared Vanderbilt. By those guys as well. And then they got a 2020 first-round pick from the Hawks. That's a lot of things to mention in these trades.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go through each team, and we'll talk about we'll talk about the Hawks. What do you think about the Hawks basically getting Clinton Capella for them? So
I think it's good. I think it finally gives Trey someone to pass to. Not to say that they have bad players, but like outside John Collins and Kevin Huerter, they have really bad players.
Yeah.
So I think getting them gives them a real center. It's not named Alex Lynn, and I think I'm giving them an A. I think it's a solid trade. It's a trade you kind of need to make at this point, considering how Trey is playing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. They needed a center. They needed someone for him to play pick and roll with. And that's one of the best pick and roll players you can get.
Exactly.
Trust me, we fucking know.
Yeah,
he screws us up on that all the time. I'm so glad he's not on the Rockets anymore, but we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'll give it a B plus because it's not anything that's going to push the needle, but I think it's a good move.
My thing is that I see the Hawks as a potential playoff team next season.
Hopefully, I thought they were going to be this season.
Yeah, exactly. But with Capella, I could see it, but we'll see. Yeah, it does depend on how this trade goes, obviously, as all of the trades.
True. Then we'll talk about the Timberwolves. Before we do it, we want to thank Malik, Wancho, and Jared for everything they've done for us.
Love you guys. Really sad you're on a team that we hate, but
yeah, it kind of sucks. I'm still going to support them. I love all of them. Wancho was pissing me off towards the end, but I still like Wancho because he's fucking hilarious.
He's so funny. That shimmy by the bench,
yeah, and
iconic.
He was Jokic's best friend, so
yeah.
It was really sad on Jokic and the rest of the team. It was literally right after they helped us in the not San Antonio game. Was it? No, it wasn't the San Antonio game. It was the Utah game. Yeah. right after they helped us in the Utah game, they got traded right after. Oh no, wait, it was not the Utah game, the Portland game.
Oh, Portland, yeah, Portland.
They helped us in the Portland game, and then they got traded right after. Apparently, the locker room was really somber. Jamal's best friends with Malik. They were like talking for a while. Apparently, Jokic left the stadium. Juancho got traded. He came back to go talk to Juancho about it, which is really sad. Because, again, they are best friends. So, yeah. And then Tori's best friends with Jared. Everyone knew that. If you follow like Tori on Instagram, they hang out all the time.
This team was had a really like, they were really close.
Yeah. So thank you to those guys. We'll say best moments, at least for two of them. Jared really didn't play, so we're not going to go through best moments for Jared.
Okay.
But Malik's best moment was definitely last year against the Rockets at home. He popped off for like 30 or something like that.
I think he scored 30.
I think he had 30 in last year's game. That's when he kind of popped up and he showed himself, and that's when I think when trade interest built up in him, people were like, oh, wow, this kid can play. And then Juancho's is when he blocked the Warriors' shot to win the game.
Or even, that's the most one. I also wanted to shout out Juancho for the other Warrior killing moment when he scored like 25 off the bench.
Yeah, that was sick. He's always good against the Warriors. Yeah. That's just his thing. But then after that, so like, what do you think about the Timberwolves, what they received and everything?
I mean, it was a good trade for them. They got a lot of value for what they gave away. The Timberwolves got way better this trade deadline. I, again, don't think it's going to move the needle, but they got Malik, who they can afford to keep, and then they get to just basically see what they have in Juancho for the rest of the season, and then they can make their decisions. They can afford to keep both of them, I think. So, I think it was good. I mean, I think obviously Malik was like the main part of this trade.
Yeah, Malik was, I think, the biggest part of this.
I mean, we love Malik. We both think he's really good. We didn't want to trade him, so yeah, I think they got a good player in that trade.
So, did you give him a grade?
I'm going to give them an A-.
Yeah, I'll say A- too, just because I think very highly of the players they got, because they were our players.
Exactly.
Also, Malik is a starter caliber shooting guard.
For sure.
He's starting now. He's had 2 good games with them, 1 game, and that is Malik for you.
Yeah.
I mean, they're way better offensively now than they used to be. They're now scoring buckets on teams. They blew out the Clippers. They scored a lot on the Toronto Raptors. They're not winning games, but they're at least scoring buckets. Again, though, the main issue is defense. None of the players they got in any of these trades play defense except for Evan Turner.
Exactly. Who does not play.
So there you go. But yeah, I think it was definitely a good trade for them because they saw the writing on the wall. They knew what they had to do. They had to get talent around Cat, otherwise he was going to be upset. They got a starter in Malik Beasley, who will be a starter for years. I also heard that they might be interested in trading for Devin Booker. So then, if that's the case, they have pieces to do. They have
assets to do that.
Yeah, they have assets to do a sign and trade. So
I really hope that happens.
It could happen. It really could. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't think that would work if it happens.
It would not work.
But yeah, they gotten better, but still not good enough, I think, for them to really compete in the West.
Even next year.
Yeah, even next year, but especially this year. They're too far back now. And then for the Rockets, like I said, got Jordan Bell, but they got rid of him for Caboclo. So they mainly just got Covington from this. They also got a second-round pick. But since they did that and they got rid of both of their centers, they don't have a center. They've been playing small ball for the past couple games. Like we talked about, they gone 2-2 with this small ball, no center lineup. So it's kind of worked. It's kind of not. I mean, they beat the Lakers with it, but yeah, PJ Tucker starts at center for them. What do you think, though, overall, like how the trade went, and then you can get into
I think for regular season wins, it's going to be really good for them. But who's going to guard Nikola Jokic? Who's going to guard Anthony Davis? Who's going to guard Kristaps Porzingis? No one. PJ Tucker will do his best. He's a really strong, big guy, but he's short, so people can just shoot over him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say for the regular season, Covington's good, so I'm going to give him a B. But from what I think is going to happen, but if what happens in the playoffs, what I think is going to happen, and they're just going to get torched by every center they face, I think I'm going to give it a C-.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a C+ overall, just in general, because I just don't know what it's going to be. I'll put an asterisk on that. It just depends on how they kind of do.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on Covington. So
I think Covington's good. I think that's a really good decision to go and get him, but I think giving up your centers was kind of ridiculous to do it, especially with Capella. Like, obviously he can't shoot, but I mean, he fucked us up every single time. So I'm super happy he's gone.
Yeah, me too.
But
now
he's
in the East too.
Yeah, and he's in the East, and that's for the most part the only bad thing that happened to us was, like, I don't even think D'Angelo going to the Timberwolves is a bad thing. I think the only bad thing that happens, Marcus Morris went to the Clippers.
Yeah.
But again, with this and their 5 small man lineup, I think as long as we play a 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone or a box and one, as long as there's a fucking zone involved, we should be fine defensively, because this will bring up issues for Jokic defensively, because he's going to be slower than their center.
PJ Tucker is way faster than Jokic.
So PJ Tucker can probably blow by him and things like this. But if you play a zone and you play it well, which we have at many points throughout the season, I don't see that being an issue. Granted, the way you beat the zone is the 3-point line, but as long as we guard that well, we should be fine. And we have done that for the most part, even though we've been kind of slacking as of late. But I'm not too worried about that. I think our matchup against the Rockets got a lot easier. And then overall for them, like you said, it's going to be hard to guard Anthony Davis, Kristaps, Nikola, Rudy Gobert. I'm trying to think of other centers. Who's the 7th seed? Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas.
Even Hassan Whiteside. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. But
but there's a lot of centers that's going to be kind of hard for him to guard. So it's definitely
Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing that they decided to do because of analytics, because Daryl Morey's obsessed with fucking numbers. He jerks off to numbers. He does.
It's true.
So he probably saw this on his computer and he was like, oh, yeah.
This gave us plus 10 wins.
He was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Trade machine is awesome. So he did that. But we'll see how it works out. Again, they're 2-2 right now, so it's kind of up in the air. No one really has a full notice of it yet. But I think overall this was good for us that they got rid of Capella. So.
Yeah, I agree.
And then now we'll talk about us. So this is going to be like a 2-part thing because we did a trade off of this trade. So like I said, we got Shabazz, Keita Bates-Diop, Gerald Green, who we waive, and Noah Vonleh, 2020 first-round pick. And then you were like, oh, yeah, we got Shabazz. I like Shabazz.
Yep.
We got Shabazz for 2 fucking days.
2 days. I really like Shabazz, but I get it.
Hey, he was an undefeated Nugget. He never lost, baby.
True.
So, and then we traded him for Jordan McRae, which I think was great. But I'll let you go into it. So overall, we got Jordan McRae, Keita Bates-Diop, Noah Vonleh, and the 2020 first-round pick from the Rockets.
So I was honestly hoping that we would flip these guys for someone else.
I think that's what they were trying to do.
I think they were trying to flip those guys they got and Gary for Drew Holiday.
But the Pelicans probably said no.
Pelicans said no. So with that happening, I'm gonna give this one a B plus. I'm gonna give it a B plus because we got some pretty good. We got Keita Bates-Diop, who's very talented. He's and Noah Vonleh, who's solid. First round pick could be used in a trade or just used. Connolly's a good drafter. So, and you got that value for 2 guys who were both probably leaving in free agency. Definitely Malik. So you got some value in return for him. So that's why I'll give it a B plus. I think it was a solid trade. Just obviously not what they intended to do.
Yeah, it wasn't the main thing we wanted. But I mean, most Nuggets fans want Drew Holiday. I'm still kind of happy, well, mainly because I have a bias, but I really like Gary Harris, but I'm also kind of happy that we gave him at least one more year to prove himself. He has been playing better as of late.
He has been better as of late.
But still not there officially yet. But overall on this trade, my favorite thing from this is definitely the fact that we just got so many players for guys that we knew were going to leave. Mainly, we knew Malik. We've been talking about it for months on this podcast. We knew Malik was going to leave. We knew Malik was going to be gone for a really long time. We've been talking about it forever and ever. We knew Wancho was probably going to be gone. So instead of getting nothing for them, we at least got something for them. Now, on the side for what we got from Malik, we got Jordan McRae from Malik, who has been having a better season than Malik. He's not a better player, obviously, than Malik Beasley, but he's been having a better season than Malik Beasley. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. I think he's shooting around 40%. From 3, he gets 12 points a game. He gets buckets. That's the main thing he does, and he's more consistent with it than usually Malik is. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. Granted, he's not going to play that much once we get healthy, but it's just a good filler for now to have him.
It's always good to have shooters. So
so if we ever need a guy who can hit a 3, he's there. Next thing, what we got for like Juancho and Jared, we got K. Bates Diop basically for Juancho. It's basically Jeremy Jr. He plays exactly like Jeremy Grant. He can shoot decently for his size. He's athletic. He can dribble. He plays decent defense as of right now. He can rebound really well. He's just really raw.
Yeah.
So for right now, he's going to have to play with the injuries again. But once they're gone,
he's not going to play.
Yeah, we're going to send him probably to G League. He needs to develop, get better, and I think he will.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's super talented. So
I think he legitimately could be Jeremy Jr. off the bench once Paul Millsap's gone. But who knows when that is, because Paul Millsap popped off a couple nights ago. But Jeremy, I mean, not Jeremy. Keita Bates Diop, I think that was a really good pickup.
I do too.
Noah Vonleh, just the only reason we did is because Plumlee's out right now. We need a bigger body. He's a one and done. He's not going to be on the team after this year.
Yeah,
it's fine.
He's on 1 year deal. I think he's getting paid $7 million this year. So there's no way we resign him.
I mean, Conley always liked Noah Vonleh. He wanted to trade for him last year, but now that we have Jeremy, it doesn't make sense to keep him. So yeah, he's a one and done. He will be gone. And then the 2020 first round pick, I think is great because mainly we got rid of our pick this year. If we weren't going to be picking, now we actually have a pick this year, and it's actually better than what ours was going to be.
True, yeah.
It's a better pick than what our pick was going to be anyways because the Rockets have a worse record than us. So I think that'll be cool. And so I'm going to give it overall a minus. I think it was a great trade for the situation we were put in. It could have been an A plus if we did get Drew Holiday. But I think for the guys we got, it helps out for the situation just to solidify our bench while we're injured. And also, I think I'm going to put an A- with asterisks again. I think the A- really depends on Keita Bates Diop and the pick. What we do with the pick and also how well he develops.
Yeah.
Depending on those two things, we'll see. I'm going to give it A- up because I think those two things will pan out well because I trust our development team. I mean, we've seen what happens with Monte, Malik, and most of our guys.
Yeah.
And then
even MPJ, the summer guard.
Yeah, and then Tim Conley is very good at drafting, especially late in the draft. So he's probably going to turn that Rockets pick into a fucking all-star or some shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. But yeah, I think overall trades went pretty decent. Obviously, Drew Holiday would have been a huge improvement, but glad we kept Gary. I think overall, I like where this put us. I would have liked to also keep Gerald Green, but there was no need, I guess.
I mean, yeah, we're so deep at 2 and 3, so.
But he's so fun at 2K.
Well, true, but
he's like a cheat code in that game. But yeah, so that was a trade deadline for the most part. Alrighty, so we're all done with that. You guys know our thoughts. So now we can get to the games. We have to talk about the games we didn't talk about beforehand just because we decided it just made sense to talk about all the games on this podcast going into the All-Star break. First one was against Portland. Just want to say, on our original predictions, I was absolutely correct because we only did for 3 games. I said we go 2-1. We beat the Jazz and the Portland.
I don't remember what I said.
Wait, did we beat the Suns? We beat the Suns. We went 3-0.
We went 3-0.
Oh, I was wrong. I said we go 2-1.
I think I said we go 2-1 too.
Yeah,
I said we were going to lose to the Jazz.
I said we were going to lose to the Suns. But let's talk about the Portland game. We won that one. What was the score of that?
127-99. I would just like to preface real quick that before this game, Damian Lillard had scored like.
He was averaging like 50.
He was averaging like 50
Yes.
before this game, and a lot of people picked the Nuggets to lose this game, and then they just won by 30. I just think it's funny. Anyways, I would say that the MVP of this game is definitely Jokic. It's hard to pick because a lot of these games have 2 MVPs now.
That's why there's 2 people on the podcast, Phil.
True.
So you can do Jokic.
I'll give it to Jokic, who's assists away from a triple-double, and he pretty much dominated the entire game.
Yes, and I will give it to the other guy, who's Jamal Murray, who is literally a Super Saiyan. He gets hurt, and he gets better. We'll talk about it, but it's weird shit. But he got 20 points. He was 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 9. He played astoundingly well. He was great. Also, shout out to Malik Beasley. Last game with us, boy gave us 14. So shout out to you.
Hey, Juancho gave us 7.
Yeah, even
He got a double-double. Oh, he didn't get a double-double, but he got 11 rebounds.
That was the game that he kept fucking getting rebounds.
Yeah.
It was insane. I was like, he has like 8 at halftime. It was insane. But yeah, I mean, the main thing about this game was like what you're talking about. Damian Lillard was popping off. Luckily, Gary and Torrey were able to hold him to 21, and they also held
awful shooting, by the way.
Yeah, an awful shooting. They also held CJ to awful shooting and to 20 points. No one else on the team really did anything except for Trent Jr. and Simons, but that was more in trash time anyways. Mm-hmm. We basically dominated them.
This game was over like pretty much after the first quarter.
Do you want to say what you said after it? You were like, we're officially like better than these guys.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt in my mind the Nuggets are like way, way better than the Trailblazers. They got us last year. I think the Nuggets should have won that series, but they didn't. And the Blazers were super good. I'm going to be honest. I shout out Yusuf, former Nugget, kind of a dick, but hey, I don't care if he comes back. I don't care if who's that other guy, Collins.
Oh, Zach Collins.
Zach Collins comes back. I don't care if they're 100% healthy. The Nuggets, when healthy, way better team.
Yeah,
way better.
You could even say the Portland Trailblazers may have peaked.
They did.
If anyone saw that online, some Nuggets fan account said that they peaked, and then Damian Lillard was like, "Oh, I peaked your ass right out of the playoffs."
Yeah.
Damian Lillard is this one salty motherfucker.
He's so salty. He also did something else with the Nuggets.
I think that was the main thing. Then Yusuf went in on it too, and Yusuf was like, "Yeah,
this team really talks shit to us."
Yusuf started talking shit, but the Yusuf one didn't make sense because first off, you weren't even a part of that fucking playoff series, and then second off,
he just hates the Nuggets.
Anytime you played, you've lost. Like the 5 times he has played, he's lost to us. The last time he beat us was that time he waved us by because he knocked us out
in his
of the playoffs.
first game against us.
Yes, exactly. So he's been terrible against us. So Damian has a right to talk shit. You do not, Yusuf. Fuck off. But yeah, no, they're salty as fuck that we're better than them now. But overall, great game for everyone except for Gary in this one. But at least Gary played defense.
Gary gets a pass because he was playing amazing defense.
But yeah, I was really proud of this game. We shot 50% from 3, which was awesome. 50% on the field, and we held them to 29% from 3. It was great. This was bravo performance. I was going to give it an A+. Very good.
A+, very good.
And then the trades happened, and we lost a lot of players, and everyone got injured. Will Barton somehow got injured in this game. I don't even know what he got injured with it.
I don't know what happened. I think he hurt his knee.
It could be like his knee or hamstring or some shit. I don't even know. We should probably, but but like he got out. Paul's been out. Everyone's out. Jeremy was out. So because of the trades that happened and because of the 2 injuries that happened in that game, we're going into the Utah game on a back-to-back with only 7 active players. If you tell anyone that, you're going to say, oh, that team's going to get fucking crushed because you have literally 2 people on your bench.
Especially when you look at who is off the bench.
Yes, and the 2 people off the bench are Chanchar and fucking Dozier. I'm going to be honest, I thought we were going to lose this. I think everyone did.
Yep.
But then the fucking Magnificent 7 happened. This is the most historic game I've ever watched for a Nuggets franchise. We fucking beat the Jazz in Utah, which we haven't done in like fucking forever.
Yeah, in a
with
long time.
7 people. I was just shocked. We won 98-95. Who's your MVP? What are your thoughts? Go ahead, Phil.
Man, I got to think about this. This game really blew my mind. It's Jamal. God damn, Jokic. But I'm going to give it to Jamal in this game. I just remember watching it. I was just like, holy shit, he looks like a superstar. And he's been popping off. And that was like the first time I actually, like, without any bias, I was like, holy shit. In a while, at least, I was like, holy shit, he looks like a superstar. Yeah, and he's doing it consistently now. He's not dropping 30 and then dropping 10. He hasn't, like, we'll get into it even more in the next game, but he hasn't dropped under 20 since he's gotten back from injury.
Which is great. I think it was just insane. The thing was with this game, it was a lot of, like, we would get close and then they would bust it open, like they'd be up 10, and then we would get close again, and then they keep busting open. But this team, man, they're fighters. They kept going for it.
And I shout out to your boy, but this was basically a game where we played six people.
Yes, it was technically 6 people.
Gary Harris was virtually non-existent. He probably played pretty good defense as always, but
he was trash.
But he was garbage.
I will admit it. Yes. Gary, it basically was 6 people, so it's even crazier if you think about it.
And we should also talk about who was off the bench. 2 players who I think are like solid and could be both pretty solid players. Vlatko Kankar, Charmander, and PJ Dozier.
Yeah. The Monte Morris replacement.
And they were off our bench. Neither were great, but neither were bad either. So I was pretty impressed with that. This is the most impressive one I've seen in years.
This is the most impressive Nuggets win I've ever seen. Yeah, definitely the most impressive game I've seen. Mainly also to Jokic. I'm going to give my MVP to him because he deserves it, because he got 30 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists. Now, I don't think that you don't deserve to give it one to Jamal as well.
Yeah, I mean, they both played like insanely well. I mean, obviously Jokic played better. I admit that.
I'm just going to give also just another shout out to Jokic because I think if someone posted on Twitter, they looked at like advanced stats for like who scored on who, and like they looked at how many times he scored on fucking Rudy Gobert. Every basket he took on Rudy Gobert, he made. He made it. And Rudy Gobert also got salty about that, and he said, fake news.
Yeah.
How's that fake news?
I don't know. I don't know what it's with, like, the last week. Just 3 players talking shit about the Nuggets or getting salty about the Nuggets. It's weird to me.
It is kind of weird. But, I mean, this game was amazing. I think even, like, anyone who watched, like, even like the day after, people were like, holy shit, the Nuggets just won with 7 people against a fully, like, healthy Jazz roster. It's another thing to put in there. And we held Joe Ingles to 2 points. Like, Mitchell and Gobert play good, Conley play good, but, like, they played decently, but we just played better somehow. And, like, really it was just 2 guys. We have to also give a shout out to Monte Morris. In the time that Jamal was gone, and even now that he's back, Monte Morris has been, again, like we said at the very beginning when we started the show, he's a solid point guard. He's been solid. He should be starting for any other team. He got 15 in this game, so good for him on that. But yeah, this was a great win. Overall, another A+. Definitely our best win we're ever going to have.
Oh, yeah, that was insane.
Like, nothing's going to top that.
7 players, but really only 4.
Yeah, for the most part, if you think about it. But hey, 7 players active, dude. And that's like a bond those guys will have forever.
Oh, yeah. Remember when we beat the Jazz on the road?
Yeah, just like us 7, like, fuck you guys. Like, we did that without you.
And we didn't need you.
But that was pretty cool. And also just shows that, like what I said earlier, I think the Jazz are overrated.
They're definitely overrated.
I'm going to keep saying it. I think they're overrated.
I'm now with you on that.
I do think, though, if it came to a playoff series between us and them, it would still go down to who has home court advantage, just because I still think that plays very heavily in playoff games.
Yeah, and Jazz, and like, despite what happened this week, we still struggle in Utah. So
yes, so that's why I'm saying that would still count. But I do think they're overrated still. But great win, awesome win, great to have it. And then the next game we played was the Suns game, which I really thought we were gonna fucking lose because sub 500 teams, classic Nuggets thing. But we actually won. We played really well. Jamal's fucking MVP.
Yeah, it's Jamal.
I don't think we're going to differ on this one. It's straight to Jamal.
It's Jamal.
This is probably the best game I've ever seen Jamal play. He had one of his highest efficiency ratings, shooting efficiency ratings. This was literally, and I don't even give a shit about those advanced stats, but just from watching the game, you could tell he was in a groove. 36 points, 6 of 8 from 3, 14 of 17. He only missed 3 shots. It's insane. 5 assists, 5 rebounds.
He was just amazing in this game. He stuffed the stat sheet. He missed 3 shots. That's insane.
That's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Especially for him, because usually he takes really dumb shots. But lately, he hasn't taken dumb shots. He rarely takes dumb shots. Only when he's feeling himself. But that's when it's okay to take the dumb shots.
Yeah. He's been feeling himself a lot lately, too.
Yeah,
so.
And it's awesome. It's just great to see. I'm glad that he's playing well. Also, shout out to Paul Millsap. He came back finally in this game, played a couple minutes off the bench, got 12 points, 11 rebounds, double-double. First game back. Pretty good.
Yeah. Paul Millsap was solid in this game.
Yeah, and then again, Devin Booker got shut down by Gary Harris and Torrey Craig. I mean, he had 21 points, but that's basically shutting him down. So.
Yeah, he did not shoot well. So.
Yeah, he shot 5 of 16, 3 of 8. So, we'll take it. Their starters did pretty well. They were in it for a lot of it. It was kind of annoying, but we pulled away because of Jamal, because of Jokic. And some help from other guys. Gary played pretty well in this, had 10 and 7.
Yeah.
Torrey played well, had 9. Grant played well, had 10.
Shout out Bate Diop. He gave us pretty good minutes.
Yeah, and he played decent defense. He was
Bates Diop. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think it's Bates Diop. I'm just going to call him Diop because there used to be a Diop who used to play for Dallas who was a great player, and I'm just going to call him like Diop. He's like basically that guy's son. Not actually.
Diop. Okay.
It just reminds me of that guy always. But, yeah, I mean, great game overall. This was, Monte, again, played really well off the bench. We did what we had to do. We went and beat a shitty team. What else can I say?
Yeah, solid.
So that was a good one. We went 3-0 that week. We were talking about we really want to go 3-0. We haven't done that in a while in a week span of the podcast, and we did. So, shout out to them. Shout out to the guys. They've been balling out, and Jamal especially balling out ever since he came back from the injury. Maybe it helps him if he gets hurt. Yeah, I really genuinely think it does.
I think it's possible it does.
And then the next game is Los Spurs. They came into town. They did not have DeMar DeRozan as he was out with back spasms.
Yes.
But, they're still a tough opponent because they have the best coach in the NBA. So they made the game kind of close for the most part. It was 127-120. LaMarcus Aldridge had 17 points against us in the first quarter.
The Nuggets were down 20 in this game.
We were down 23.
23 at one point, yeah.
And we came all the way back in the second half to win, which is our biggest comeback since last year when we did basically the same thing against the Grizzlies. Yeah. So this team just has a knack of coming back when they're down. They don't give up, so I really like to see that. Who was your MVP for this one?
Jamal. Jamal took over this game. He's definitely the reason why we won. He and Paul. Paul also. Ooh.
I was going to give it to Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Jamal. You can give it to Paul. It's a theme. I think Jamal's the MVP of my week.
I mean, he's been really good. I agree with
it. Yeah, Jamal and Paul, they were the two guys. They basically went and took that game over.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to give it to Paul because he started it. Jamal finished it.
Yeah,
but Paul started it.
Yeah, and Paul also did it in 19 minutes.
Yeah, and Paul came off the bench. He's just playing limited minutes right now as he's recovering from his injury. He's eventually going to come back and, start, I'm assuming. He had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 4 or 5 from 3. He was doing great. It was on his birthday, of all things. So, 35 years young, man. He's killing it.
He's killing it. Really killing it.
Doing really good. He played really well. He started it because we were in the dumps after halftime. Like, they were kicking our ass. They were making every single 3 they wanted, every shot they wanted. It was booty. But then Paul Millsap said, nah, Papa Paul's coming, and we're not going to let this happen. And then he just popped off. So, and then Jamal got kind of hurt. Someone stepped on his ankle, and like I said, he gets hurt, he gets stronger. He fucking started popping off after that. I don't know what it is with him, but if you hurt him, he does better.
It's true. It's kind of weird, but it has been true.
And then he popped off in that fourth quarter, and it was just great. It reminded me of when he did it in Game 2 of the playoffs last year. So Jamal just has a knack of going off in the fourth quarter against the Spurs, I guess. But, other people play well. Jokic, again, pretty good game. Torrey, been making threes as of late, 3 of 6. I really think with Torrey what it was always was like, if he gets run consistently, his 3-point shot also becomes consistent. But if he, doesn't play and then plays like he was at the beginning of the season, of course his shot's not going to be good.
It's not going to, yeah.
Because I think now that he's playing really consistently, his shot has been really good for the most part. He's shooting 50% from the field, and I want to say high 30 from 3. So in February at least.
Yeah. No, he's been super solid this month.
Yeah, so he's been good. Keita Bates played a little bit. He did good. Monte Morris got 16. Again, solid. I love Monte Morris. I'm going to really be sad when he leaves.
Me too.
Which will happen next year. Nuggets fans, just get ready for it. It's unfortunate. But we have PJ Dozier, who also played well in this game. 6 points. And then Jordan McRae, 8 points. MVP. No, I'm kidding. But I really love Jordan McRae.
Jordan McRae was solid in this game.
Yeah, 2 points. He had 2 threes. He had 8 points. And 5 rebounds. He did go well. We shot 56% from the field, 51% from 3, which is a complete 180 from what we were doing at halftime. I think at halftime for both of those, we were shooting 30%.
Probably, yeah.
So we really popped off in that second half. So, And, if it just wasn't for LaMarcus Aldridge, we would have fucking banged this game out even more. But he's really fucking good, especially now that he can shoot three-pointers.
Yeah, which came out of nowhere, but good for him, I guess.
He just started doing it, apparently. That's literally their explanation for it. It's like he did it one game, and it worked, and he was like, oh, I'm going to keep doing it. It's like, what? That was all it took?
That's all you had to do was just shoot them?
It was like, why didn't you know that in the first place? But, yeah. Granted, again, DeMar wasn't in the game, but, Derek White was, and he still somehow always does well against Jamal. Even though he didn't shoot well, he got to the line every time because Jamal he can't stay in front of him.
Jamal needs to get bigger. That's his next step.
He needs to get bigger. He needs to get a little bit faster lateral-wise, but you know what? No hate to Jamal this week. He's been fucking great. Yeah. It's been worth that contract we just gave him.
Totally. This is what I want to expect from him, so...
Yeah, I mean, now, a lot of people, I agreed with them. Some people, actually a lot of people on this podcast have commented Jamal's been a waste of money. But as of late, he is not. So I'm glad he's finally figured it out. Whether it's been these injuries giving him focus, whether it's been, the unfortunate situation with one of his idols that maybe gave him some motivation. Who knows?
Maybe, but whatever. Maybe something just clicked.
Maybe something's going on.
I think we got to hope that something just clicks because the other two might wear off.
I don't know, but either way, if it is the hurt thing, someone hit him with a wrench every time before a game.
Just hit him. Just give him a solid tap on the knee with a wrench, and
he'll be like, I'm so much stronger. I really think that's what it is, man.
It might be.
Even in this next game we're going to talk about, something happened to him and he got better. The next game was really unfortunate. I would say as a Nuggets fan, just because of injuries, you wouldn't expect to win this, but you really wanted to.
Yeah.
As everyone knows, we are not fans of the Lakers on this podcast. We hate the Lakers. That's not something we're going to hide. I mainly hate the Lakers because this is a home game, right? This should be a game where it's mostly our fans, big game, Lakers coming into town. All Denver fans are going to come out wearing Nuggets gear. No, it's fucking Laker fans all the time, and that's Pepsi Center whenever they're here. And it's even worse now because LeBron is a multiplier of 10 because he brings his own fans.
Mm-hmm. And then also you probably got some Kobe fans also coming out.
Because of what happened.
Yeah, because of what happened.
So it was unfortunate. It was basically it was probably 60-40 in that stadium, Nuggets to Laker fans, which was annoying. And it's always annoying. If we play them in a playoff series, they basically have 7 home games.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate, but we just have so many people from California who live here and support the Lakers. And, you do what you want, but God damn it, it's really annoying. But we lost the game 120-116, went to overtime. We played really well. There were just, some things that I'll talk about why I think this game didn't go well at the end. But who was your MVP for this one?
Probably Jamal Murray.
Yeah, man, he keeps popping off. This week is his week.
He absolutely went off against them. He is the only reason why we didn't get blown out of this game, to be honest. Yeah, he was amazing. He was so good in this game. Yeah.
I'll also give this to Jamal. He popped off actually in the third quarter of this one after he got a neck injury. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it's literally he gets hurt, he gets stronger. Because he held his neck for a little bit, and then all of a sudden he just started popping off. It doesn't make sense. I really think it's something to do with when he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Apparently in one of the games, I think it was the Spurs game, he was going to stop at halftime. But he called his dad during halftime, which I think is weird, but he did. And his dad was like, no, you're just going to play through it. Murray mentality. You play through injuries. And he was like, all righty. So I think that's just his thing. He just likes playing through injuries.
Play through injuries. Well, that's fine. Just don't play through an injury you shouldn't play through.
Serious ones, yeah. So these ankle ones, he's literally playing at 80% probably right now.
Yeah.
He's not healthy. He's going to get healthy now that with All-Star breaks here, but he is not healthy by any means. But he played really well. He had 32 points, 10 assists, double-double. One of his first double-doubles in a while, I think. Mm-hmm. He shot 3 of 8 from 3, which is pretty good. Just good efficiency overall from the field, though. He was above 50%. He played great.
He was super good in this game. It was really fun to watch.
Jokic played well for the most part. We'll get into it. There was issues at some point. Gary played well. This was actually one of Gary's better games as of late. He had 13 points.
For sure.
Jeremy played really well, too, 15. Torrey not so much, but honestly, I feel bad for Torrey, man.
Honestly, the way we played in this game, you can't be too mad at.
Yeah, I'm not upset we lost this one. This is not one I'm going to rant about.
Like, there may have been something to rant about if we got like destroyed, but this game went to overtime. So
yeah, and we were hurt. We're
beat up.
We don't have Will, we don't have MPJ, and we still don't have Plumlee. Mm-hmm. And Plumlee, as you said, is probably pretty much very necessary for this game because all of their centers pretty much popped off against us.
To play and even to beat the Lakers, you need a bigger body who can play defense. And Jokic, while isn't an awful defender, he can't guard Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard. Yeah, so that was an issue. Also, like having LeBron be the guy who destroys your defense is not going to help out. He literally picked us apart. Yeah,
and that's why I feel bad for Torrey Craig because there was literally a point where LeBron just went down the lane and he just pushed Torrey Craig like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
I was like, well, damn. So Torrey Craig's not the answer for LeBron James. I don't know if we have one, but Paul's probably our best bet.
Paul or Jeremy.
Yeah. Noah Vonleh came in and guarded him, did decent, but Noah Vonleh's not good enough to play that type of minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall it was a good game. We took it to overtime, but then in overtime we kind of collapsed. Just really bad decision making, really bad playmaking.
Yeah. A lot of it, I think, was Jokic too. He had some really stupid turnovers. I think he was probably exhausted.
Yes, Jokic was probably really tired, which is kind of on Malone. But I don't think you can't really blame Malone too much because he doesn't know that Jokic is gonna. He didn't know that game was going to go into overtime.
Yeah.
You don't know, so you just play the guy as much as you can. It did seem like he kind of burned out a little bit. He tried to force some fouls from the refs by like pump faking and going into it, and then he would just toss it. They didn't call it. It was the turnover.
Did that twice.
Yeah, he did that twice. And then the main issue that I have with Jokic, and I don't know if just they got into his head, he just wasn't there. It's just at the end of the game, he had a wide open 3 to at least try to tie it. And he just didn't take it.
Yeah, he tried. He drove forward.
He drove forward. He tried to pass it to Jeremy in the corner. Lakers stole it. They won the game, basically. So it's mainly on Jokic that we lost this one, and also just kind of how young we are. My main takeaway from this is, as sad as it is, I think we're good enough to make a Western Conference Finals, depending on who we play in the second round. But if it is one of the Laker or Clipper teams, I don't know about the Clippers yet. We haven't played the Clippers yet. But the thing is, I just think they're mentally more ready for those situations than we are.
Both those teams have championship DNA, and we are not there yet, obviously.
Yeah.
We haven't made the championship. I think unfortunately, the Lakers are way better than the Nuggets this year. But it's nice to see them compete against these teams. That's a good sign for the future and for the playoffs.
I'm not saying we can't compete, but I'm just saying
when it comes down to it, we might not be able to beat them in 7 games.
Yeah, because they're just, you could tell, like, they were ready. They were at tip-top form for 48-plus minutes. Granted, obviously they had a couple of times where they weren't playing that well, but they were at tip-top form for 48-plus minutes. That's not what we can say, because in the second quarter, we let them go on a 21-2 run. We weren't there. In overtime, we weren't ready to compete with them because we were exhausted. We're young. We're not ready for those type of situations, whereas a guy like LeBron, who has fucking so many finals under his belts, is ready for any situation. Same with, AD, who doesn't have playoff experience, but he's a good player, and, they're ready for it. They have a better leader, at least with experience-wise, than we do. Our best leader is Paul, who has experience, but not as much as that guy.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron James is he's without LeBron James, this team is the New Orleans Pelicans. So, yes. LeBron has something that 2 or 3 other players in the NBA have.
Exactly.
And he has the peak of that. Yeah. So,
and unfortunately, one of them also has it on the Clippers, which I think this also bodes for the same idea for the Clippers. I don't know yet, though, there.
I think
we haven't really. I don't think we played them yet. Have we played them?
No, we have. But one of them was out with one was without Paul George, but it was also in the midst of our giant injuries. I can pull up the game.
Did we lose that one?
No, we won. We haven't lost to them.
Okay.
I think we played them twice actually. Let me check. So we beat the Clippers 114-104 in January, and Kawhi played, but Paul George didn't. But we just didn't have Paul.
Okay. I think that's the only time we played them. I might be wrong.
I think you're right. One sec.
I would think that's the only time we played them. But yeah.
It is.
Yeah, so even then, though, they didn't have Paul George. But I do think when it comes down to it in the playoffs, they might equate to the same kind of idea, that they're just more mentally ready in those situations than we are. I don't think our guys are yet there, but that's okay. They're young.
Yeah. Just make the playoffs and play hard, and you'll get that experience.
I'm not saying I think that this team has the capability to make the Western Conference Finals.
This team,
especially with how Jamal's playing now.
I think this team can beat any team in the NBA besides the Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Clippers. That's where I'm at right now. I think they can. I'm not saying that they would, but I think they can.
Yes.
I don't think they can beat either of those teams in a 7-game series, unfortunately, but that's okay. They both have stuff that we don't have at the moment.
Now, granted, there's still stuff we can improve on, too. The main thing now at this point is, and we all have to back him up now because he's on the team. He didn't get traded. Gary Harris, if he somehow figures out how to shoot.
If we get Gary Harris from even last year, we're going to be in a really good spot.
If he just somehow learns how to shoot all of a sudden, this is a whole new story because that would change everything. He kind of shot decently last night. He hit a clutch 3 to send it into overtime, but
we need Gary because he is going to get passed open because Jokic and all the attention that Jamal gets. If Jamal's playing like this, we need both of them to play the way
they're playing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so there's still positivity, but for right now, it just looks like we're not yet ready for the level of, the Lakers or the Bucks,
we also
maybe the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, for me this year is really just another, I think, good measuring stick for us. I want them to win the championship, and I will root so hard for them to, and I'll be sad if they don't this year. Yeah. But if we're being realistic, they weren't going to even before the season started.
Yeah.
So this is a measuring stick for them, and it's also a measuring stick for the young guys, specifically MPJ. We haven't even talked about him. If he starts to show his potential even more so now that he's going to get all these minutes once he's healthy. Hopefully he stays healthy, and then
I think he is healthy. We're just being safe.
I agree with you. I think they are. I don't think it's anything to be worried about.
Yeah, I think he's fine. You're just being safe.
But some stuff just comes out of players in the playoffs. So we'll see we'll get an idea of what kind of player MPJ is in the playoffs too.
And that's also a good insight too, because he didn't play in that game. Mm-hmm. We didn't have Plumlee again. We didn't have Will Barton. So there's people who we had out who didn't play in this Laker game.
Mm-hmm.
So we still completed. So that was good.
And it's interesting to see as MPJ's role grows. I would love to. It would be really awesome to see him playing in that overtime game last night. Unfortunately, he couldn't, and it's good he probably didn't play. We wanted to stay healthy, especially when we're about to get a week off.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want your cornerstones to play in the big moments, and so that's kind of what I'm waiting on next is just more big moments for everybody, and specifically get MPJ his first one.
Yeah, but that's everything. Overall, really happy with how this past week and a half went. We went 4-1. And the only team we lost to, I'm okay with losing to. They're the best team in the West, so I'm not even upset.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was a really good week. We got Jamal to start going finally. Jokic looks in MVP form. The rest of the team, I don't know. Something happened after that trade where I feel like this team's just in a better mind state now. And I don't know what it is, but it just seems like it. And I hate to say it because I do really miss the guys who left, but I do really think that trade was a necessary evil that we had to do.
I think it solidified a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think it probably gave Gary some confidence. And
we got MPJ minutes now.
Yeah, and we gave open up minutes. It's going to give us a solid 9-10 man rotation, which we haven't really had in years.
Yeah, and he's going to play. He's going to have to play a lot of minutes now. We invested in MPJ. That trade mainly was for MPJ's minutes.
So 100%.
All you people who might be upset that we got rid of Malik, it's for MPJ, so you can't be too upset. We want him to grow, not Malik. But yeah, again, overall, great week. No games to talk about coming up because All-Star break's coming up. It's this weekend. We got Rising Stars, which they snubbed MPJ again.
Oh, yeah, bullshit.
For Colin Sexton, dumb.
I am going to get into something just real quick. I just want to say one thing. One, Colin Sexton over MPJ is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. Colin Sexton over Terrence Davis is also ludicrous.
Yeah.
But the fact that Nicolo Millie got put in just because he's not from the United States is stupid. USA versus World, it doesn't work anymore because there's a lot more rising stars who are American. And it's stupid.
Yeah, they need to change it.
They need to change it. They don't even have to change it to rookie versus sophomore. Just pick the rising stars and then just do a draft like the All-Star game. It's not that hard.
I don't know. They just need to figure
Have the coaches of the game.
I think it would still be rookie sophomore, but yeah, you could also do the draft with that too.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I just
fine
think
with rookie
it's weird.
sophomore, but get the players who deserve to be in there.
Yeah, I think it's just weird. But hey, it is what it is. Either way, maybe he wouldn't have played because we would have said no.
He probably wouldn't have.
Of his ankle.
But still, I just want the players who deserve to be in.
Yeah.
And I've been happy. That's why the last 2 years I've been very happy with the All-Star game selections. Like Donovan Mitchell, yeah, but the rest, not really too. I can't be too mad at any of them.
Yeah. And so Friday, no Nugget fans really gonna watch the game. I mean, you'll watch if you're a basketball fan. You have nothing else to do really. But Saturday, that'll be fun. Dunk contest looks like it's gonna be a good one this year. 3-point contest is always actually fun. And then skills challenges, but at least the other two will be fun. And then Sunday, be real fun. We get to see Jokic with LeBron and the winning team because that team's so much better.
Yeah, seriously.
So that'll be fun to see and kind of see like the new format, see how it works out. I'm kind of interested to see how this new quarter by quarter thing works.
All these new rules they made.
Yeah, that they did for like Kobe and charities. I think it'll be interesting to see. So, so we'll be back later in the week next week, like before our first game after the break.
Yeah, after all the All-Star festivities.
Yeah,
and then
like right before probably the break.
Probably like next week, Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, sometime around then we'll be back. We'll do an episode kind of like handing out grades to our guys so far, who's been doing well, who hasn't. And then talking about the upcoming games and any news that pops up, if any news does pop up. But yeah, that's everything for this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know your thoughts about the trades, our week, everything that's kind of going on. And then make sure to tell a friend too if you think they would enjoy the podcast. And so we'll talk to you guys next week.
Go Nuggets.